Hello everybody, Wishbone8121 here, and welcome to another Injustice iOS video. In today's video, this one's just for fun, we're going to be going over who is the king, the true king, of the basic attack. Now, am I asking who can get the most damage in a combo? No, because this is all for the clicks today. It's all just for fun. We're talking who can get the biggest, fattest number out there in one hit. All right, we're going to go over some setups. We're going to go over some math. That's your favorite. And the mind-numbing number of attempts it took for me to get some of these videos. Let's get right into it. In fourth place, alongside Aquaman giving 3 bleeds and Harley Quinn giving only her passive because her SP2 bugged out on us, is, and I didn't feel like recording 50 more attempts, is Batman Ninja Catwoman with the LexCorp Helmet V2, League of Assassins Adepthood, and Custom Rifle. We'll get into the math. We'll get into what possibly you could do better if you really wanted to bang your head against a wall for hours to try to get one screenshot of a large basic attack. Let's see how we did it. Alright, to start out with, there is a bug where if you activate Batman Ninja Catwoman's passive first, and then bring out Harley Quinn and use her damage boost, it functions. But if you use Harley Quinn's damage boost first, and then activate Batman Ninja Catwoman's passive, it actually overwrites that damage boost, and it does not apply. Which unfortunately I did not know until after I did the math, because the numbers didn't quite look right. And I found out that Harley Quinn's active, her SP2 is not working. All right, so I got those 3 bleeds with Aquaman, and he's got the Quake engine so that they'll repeat. And I got 3 bleeds with Batman Ninja Catwoman, and this took way more attempts than you really want to know about. And bam! Finally, she did not block. She decided to get hammered in the face for 147, 269. That is 147,000 damage. All right, let's go over the math real quick. Starting out, Batman Ninja Catwoman's attack, because she's fully augmented, is 89,450. You have a 4% damage multiplier from it being a heavy attack. And then times 1, which is just basic, plus 3, which is 300%, which is her passive, plus 70%, which is from her having 1 piece of attack gear, and 20% from Harley Quinn's passive. She's missing another 50% on there, which would be added together in that group. So those are all added together to make 4.9. And that's multiplied by 3.5, which is her current crit boost. It's better to have more crit boost in this than to have another piece of attacking gear. And that is multiplied by the bleed, which for some reason there's actually 7 bleeds on her. And don't ask me to figure out how it's 7 when Aquaman put on 3 and Batman Ninja Catwoman put on 3. But for some reason this game thinks that there are 7 bleeds on her. So if you know how that happened, let me know in the comments. But this ends up being 147,270 damage. Let's go into one more theoretical thing that you could possibly do to get her to hit a little bit harder. All right, so if we actually used Catwoman with the Cloak of Destiny, which her passive will negate the tag-in, so that's not about the tag-in. You could also give her the Amazonian Sword and Shield, and if you happen to proc the stun on her 3rd special one, which, you know, is a 1 in 4 chance, then her damage output would be her damage times 4% for heavy swipe, times 1 plus her passive, plus Harley Quinn's passive, plus Harley Quinn's damage boost actually working, because you do it right, plus 200% from the Cloak of Destiny, times a 3.5 crit multiplier, and times 6 bleeds, because I don't trust the 7 bleed thing. I don't know where that came from. And that gets 184,589 damage, theoretically. In 3rd place, alongside Aquaman giving 3 bleeds again, and Metal the Batman Who Laughs adding 2 bleeds with the Quake engine, is Boss Grundy, wearing LexCorp Helmet V2, League of Assassins Adepthood, and the Cloak of Destiny. So I started out by letting her hammer Grundy down to 10% health. I brought in the Batman Who Laughs to tank for a little bit while Aquaman got enough energy for 3 bleeds. Thankfully, that third one disabled his special. And then I bring in Grundy for 150,000 crit basic attacks. Alright, all you nerds, let's get into the math behind how this works. First of all, Grundy's damage is 46,990 when he is fully augmented, like mine is. Times 4%, which is the multiplier for the strong basic, heavy basic attack. Times 10, or 1,000%, for his passive. Times 4, which is his crit multiplier with the gear setup that he has. And then that is times 2, because there are 5 bleeds on the target, yielding 150,368. Now, there is some possibility for him to hit a little bit harder. We'll go over the theoretical highest hit he could possibly do. If you really wanted the pain of recording hundreds of attempts, you could use 2 Aquamans, both putting on 3 bleeds for 6 bleeds total, and hope for the stun proc on tag-in with Solomon Grundy, which would yield a total damage of 198,486 damage. At this point, I'm going to add an honorable mention, which is Apocalypse Darkseid. Mine is very low level, and he's not augmented, except for crit chance. And he is not the correct promotion level for this type of video. But if you do have a max augmented, max promoted, and use this setup, which is the best setup for him, with 2 Aquamans, and if you get his lifesteal passive proc, then his maximum damage output would be 77,395, which is his max augmented damage, times 15%, which is what Black Racer hits for with the lifesteal proc, times 1, his, just basic damage, plus 0.7, plus 70%, plus 70% a third time for having 3 damage weapons, times 2.5, which is his crit boost, times 1 plus 0.2 times 6, or 6 bleeds, yielding 197,938 damage. Just 1,000 damage short of the maximum that Boss Grundy could do. But you're not here for math, you're here for close-ups of someone getting punched in the face for hundreds of thousands of damage. So let's get back into it. In second place, beside Aquaman giving 3 bleeds, and Metal the Batman Who Laughs giving 2 more bleeds, is Flashpoint Batman, wearing Necron Scythe, the Power to Screama Sticks, and the Cloak of Destiny. Let's see how we did it. Oh, well, that's definitely not how it goes. Okay, that's not how to do it either. Okay, 55 attempts later, finally, we get an Aquaman with 3 bleeds, followed by Batman launching an unblocked S1 that stuns, followed by 207,978 damage basic attacks. So let's get into the math. My Flashpoint Batman does not have damage augments, so his base damage is 82,924 times 0.04, or 4% for the heavy swing multiplier, times 100% plus 200% from the Necron Scythe, plus 200% from Cloak of Destiny, plus 70% from a damage item, times 5, which is his special crit multiplier from his passive, times 2.2, because there are actually 6 bleeds on the target, yielding 207,973, which is off by 5. Which is confusing me a little bit, but it could be that for some reason there are some rounding errors due to his passive, which is what I'm going to go with. But if you know, you can go ahead and tell me in the comments. But now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Who is the king, the true king of basics? Oh shit. 440,192 damage from a single basic attack. That is a new world record. In first place, beside Injustice 2 Aquaman carrying among other things, the Thermofrost necklace to disable specials, and Metal, the Batman who laughs with the Quake engine. We have Shazam Prime, carrying LexCorp Helmet V2, League of Assassins Adaptud, and the Tantu Totem. Let's find out how we made a new world record for the greatest single crit from a basic attack in Injustice iOS.
Begin.
Alright, let's go over a little bit of math here. The base damage of Shazam is 69,103 when he is fully maxed out, fully augmented, as my Shazam Prime is. Now, his multiplier for his first heavy hit in his heavy combo is 5%. The second is 7%, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute. He has 3 passives enabled, which means that his damage multiplier is 1 plus 300%, plus 300%, plus 300%, or 10. Pretty much the same as Boss Grundy when he's maxed out. He has 2 crit boost gears on, so his crit boost is 3.5 times. And finally, I have 8 bleeds enabled, leading him to have a damage of, I calculated at 314 for 19. However, what actually registered as 314 for 23. So there must be some rounding errors involved in the way that the computer actually calculates this, slightly differently than mine. Anyway, possibly because I had so many bleed effects active, the final strike does not show up on screen. However, we can calculate it out to be the number from the first hit divided by 5 times 7, because it is a 7% of your base damage hit instead of a 5% of your base damage hit, which yields 440,192. Now, after multiple attempts to get more bleed effects and more ultimates active at the same time, I found that I believe this is, in fact, the strongest basic attack single hit that is possible in this game. If anyone can prove otherwise, feel free to show me a video. But until then, I will claim to have the world record in the strongest, highest damage single basic attack strike ever recorded in Injustice iOS. So who is the true king of basics? Certainly, it is Shazam Prime. But for those of you who skipped all the math and all the strategy and all the good stuff that I actually put into this video and just want to skip to the short, crazy hits that I recorded, here you go. In 4th place, with an astounding 147,269 damage, we have Batman Ninja Catwoman. In 3rd place, with a boss hit of 150,368, you have Boss Grundy. In second place, failing to take the top spot, most likely because he's more overrated than overpowered, you have Flashpoint Batman with 207,978 damage. And in first place, it's the king of basic damage with 440,192 crit in a single strike. You have Shazam Prime. Well, that was a fun video to make, though it did take quite a bit longer than some of my other videos. And it involved quite a bit of math as well, though I did get a world record today. Anyway, that's enough for me. Wishbone8121 here, and I hope you have a nice day. See ya!